my back.
What up,
Y'all got
though?
some wine?
Man,
Oh, heck
listen.
no.
You like smoking?
And I do mean that.
You cute.
Literally.
Y'all got life
Make it
insurance?
make sense.
You want
Those
life insurance?
were the days.
Y'all, welcome to another episode of Somebody's Auntie. We are not your mama's sister, but we are the auntie with the T. I am A-list Natalie Knox, whatever you want to call me. What's up, y'all?
It's your girl Keysha E.
And it's your girl Chevy the Shegan.
Chevy the She. How y'all doing? How y'all feeling today?
I feel good. I'm
I got
drinking
my
tea
little
today.
Mimosa. I need. I got my water today. I'm chilling on.
Every
on
time
the
I look up,
champagne.
you like, I ain't drinking. No pressure.
That's good. I have stomach issues, and I have to be in a mood
Yeah,
to
you
drink.
probably
I'm like,
drink if you're pregnant.
wow. No, I'm just like a social drinker. Like I had to,
Got you.
I don't know.
So,
by the
I'm
next
like that.
episode, I'll probably.
But I can get into mimosas anytime.
Any day.
Yeah.
Any moment. 9 p.m.
Yeah. You know what I discovered too when I moved out here? Day drinking. Like I've never done that. Like
It's
back
day
no,
home.
drinking is
they
the
haven't
best.
been a thing. We just are
Ooh.
aunties now, so now
Yeah.
we care more about that 10 to 2.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
I
we
feel
do.
like day drinking is the best ever because you just get it out the way.
It's
Boom.
fun.
You get it out
It's
the
like
way.
I don't have to wait till dinner to have a drink. I can wake up and have a mimosa if I want to.
Ain't that the part of
and I
being
won't
an
be
adult?
judged. Yes.
You be like, let me get some
Sometimes being an
wine.
adult is some bullshit though, but
The bills part.
that's the good part.
I pay my rent. I'm like, don't nobody talk to me.
Right.
Don't nobody
Exactly.
call me.
I kind of feel a sense of responsibility paying my rent though. Like I love it. Like I love yes, I could pay my rent today.
I ain't
Or
never
could-
felt like
I
I
ain't never
love-
felt
I
like
just love paying
y'all
my
don't
rent.
enjoy paying
I'm
y'all
like,
bills?
Thank you God that I
Yeah.
can, but I ain't never just like, oh, I'm so glad to drop these $2,000 off of this
I
overpriced
feel like
goddamn
I
apartment.
feel happy, like a sense of responsibility. Like I can pay my bills. Like because at that point we didn't. At that point you have to ask mommy and daddy at some point, right?
Never.
So now that we,
You know
I
what?
could go back to that. That was
Yeah.
life was good. Life was good when my parents was paying my bills.
You know
Yeah.
what's crazy? My parents ain't never paid my rent. I ain't never had.
mine's never paid my rent either, but they've helped out, in college and stuff.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was about to say in college. Outside
college?
of college, no. But
No.
college, yeah, my parents.
But they would pay it if you asked, right? Like if you need it. If you like, hey, I need.
Oh yeah.
If
It's been times I didn't borrow money. Yeah, like
Yeah.
where I'm like, hey,
Borrow money
I need the
for
whole
sure.
rent, but I always
Yeah.
pay it
See
back.
that part I cannot do. I don't want you hanging this over my head. I don't want to borrow no money from you.
No,
I'm
my
gonna
mom
figure
and
it
daddy
out.
would never hang
But it's
nothing over my
technically
head.
like
I think it's who you borrow it from. They would
Yeah.
never.
That's
hang
true.
over it.
That's
Yeah.
true.
All right, y'all. Let's dive into this.
What are we talking about
topic.
today? What are we talking
So
about?
if you're just now tuning in with us for the first time, we find out what we're talking about when you find out what we're talking about, and we're gonna pull it out of this little wine glass here. So let's shake
Ooh,
this up.
shake
Make
it
sure you
up.
shake up that big one.
Shake it up.
Let's see what your aunties got to say today.
Let's check it out. Not your mama's with the tea. And I'm
Not
drinking
your
tea.
mama's with the
Are you
tea.
for the streets?
Ooh.
Mm.
Ooh.
Which street we
Chevy
talking
look like
about?
she got. Chevy like it kind of depends.
She's
She's
like,
like,
it
one way
depends, right.
street is it a main street? What kind of street are we talking about?
Am I kind of for the streets right now? I'm
Wait,
kind of.
what does that mean? Let's talk about that. What is that?
I guess it's like you for. I don't like that phrase. You're for everybody, because I had this thought driving here. Like I'm reserved for a boss, so I don't want to say I'm for the streets, but still be like I'm reserved for a boss. I don't even know. Like I don't even like that phrase. Are you for the streets? Like for real.
I think it could be taken two ways. I think it could be that like you for everybody, or I think it's like you just out here. And I don't want to say out here as if like you hoeing or nothing, but you know what I mean. You just like you
on
living
the
your life.
scene,
You on the
everybody
you on the
see you,
scene. You
yeah.
out. You kicking it. You hanging. You might be dating a lot of dudes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which doesn't make you a hoe, but you dating multiple dudes. Like, are you for the streets, or are you more like?
Mhm. Are
Okay.
you a
Who's
the
two-way
homemaker?
street?
Okay, so for the streets, meaning like you don't want to settle down. You kind of just having fun, playing
Yeah.
it by ear.
Yeah.
There's nothing necessarily wrong
Also,
with
you
that.
could be
There's nothing
hoeing.
wrong with that.
You could be
You could be
hoeing
hoeing too.
for the
It
streets.
depends. I guess
Which
it just depends
street?
on the person.
What
Yeah.
work?
I ain't for the streets, y'all.
No, I'm not
Auntie
either.
ain't. I don't think I've never been for the streets.
I'm reserved for a boss, and whatever street them bosses on, sign me up.
They could be on Gratiot,
They
Jefferson.
could be on Gratiot,
Hacienda.
Jefferson, 7 Mile. I don't care. Melrose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, for real. Like
You
I
enjoy
just,
like your freedom.
I
or-
enjoy my freedom.
Yeah.
I enjoy my freedom and not being responsible for someone else's emotions.
Mm.
Now,
Gotcha.
because you said you're reserved for a boss, are
Mhm.
you what you were trying to attract?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, I just came to realization like maybe 2 months ago.
Streets calling you right now.
I'm like, I wish you had that thing on Instagram that had for the streets you want to answer. I had to realize what I'm asking for it always needs to be in me.
Mm-hmm.
And when you go through stuff in life, you're like, oh my God, I don't have this. And you just have a moment, you be like, I'm a boss.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I have multiple streams.
Yeah.
I can go where I want. Like, it's just a whole different feeling. However, if I meet somebody that's a boss, I'm gonna let them lead.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm gonna say. If you meet somebody that's a boss, then do you still want to be in these streets? Like, is the streets just in you, or is the streets like convenient for where you at right now?
The streets like us.
We got one foot in. We got one foot on the
Let me
sidewalk.
see who out there. Oh, ain't nobody out there. You know what I'm saying? But if I meet someone, have met someone, or whatever the case may be,
Nah, go spill that tea. You gotta hold the tea in now.
yeah, I'll let you lead, long as you can lead in the right direction.
Okay.
Now, if you lead me to Shake Shack, we're gonna have a problem.
Right.
Tell me you a boss. Why are we eating here?
I ain't never been for the streets. I don't know. It's so funny because my homeboy said this the other day. Like, Keysha faithful even when she's single. Like, I don't know. I'm just like a one person kind of woman. I don't have a desire to just be like kicking it with them. Now I'll hang out. I used to in my younger days. Like, I would kick it. I would party and be on the scene. I think sometimes people naturally get this perception of like, if a girl in the club, like, oh nah, like, bruh,
I'm having a good time.
I'm never leaving with nobody. Yeah, I'm coming with my
Yeah.
homegirls and just enjoying myself. But I've never been.
I mean,
for the streets.
is anyone ever going to actually admit that they're actually for the streets? though? Like, is there a person that's like, yeah, I'm for the streets?
It's plenty of chicks that's like that. It's
Really?
girls that's like, yes.
Not
I
my
mean,
friends.
Right, because I'm not. And I don't know anybody who be like, yeah, I'm for the streets.
But
I mean,
here's
I
the
feel
thing,
like
I can appreciate somebody. I appreciate an honest hoe.
okay.
I will say
Why
that.
you pointing
Okay.
at me? I'm not pointing. I appreciate the honest one. I appreciate the honest over here. I'm like, God dang.
I wasn't insinuating
appreciate you.
it's
She appreciates
It's
you.
just so that my finger was pointed that way. I'm saying there are plenty of women who are just
Admitting
real.
that. Yeah. Okay, so I'm definitely not. I agree. I'm kind of like a, one man woman.
Why would you lie?
Okay. Why are you saying that?
You in the streets right now.
You mean because I date?
Yeah,
That
that's the
doesn't- see,
streets.
that doesn't mean that. For
But
me,
here's the
I
thing,
get it.
I don't think streets means that you got to be a hoe.
Yeah, it's not a hoe. It's
Like,
like,
I
you're
think
out, you're
you-
enjoying people, like you're meeting people, you're going on dates, like
I think
you're doing.
you are conveniently for the streets. I think you're for the streets when
Dang.
you chilling. But I'm not saying, this is the thing.
It's
I
not
think
bad,
it's
though.
not meaning that you out here home. It could be that you for the streets and you are fucking everybody. But it could be like, I think that you are, not you aren't fucking. I think it could also mean that like, you are really open to dating. Dating is like a thing for you.
Now it is, yes.
Like you would kick it with a bunch of different dudes. You would be, you know what I mean? Like you kind of, I don't think you party a lot like that.
And see, that's
Yeah.
why I asked the definition at the beginning. What does it exactly mean? I've always known it to be a bad thing. Like if I hear somebody's for the streets, that means that woman is out here smashing dudes, out here partying. She's not for a relationship. She's for the streets. So when it comes to that, that's why I answered, no, I'm not for the streets. I'm actually a one man woman. Yes, I date. But see, that's why I was talking about like what's the definition exactly.
So like someone I'm very close to. I was about to say something else. We always joke around like you for the streets, and I'd be like, I don't want the streets, but the streets just be like, you're no longer mine. Like you are able to do whatever it is you want to do. So it depends. Like when a guy said, it's a negative feeling behind it, but when a girl said, it's like, girl, I'm having fun. I'm in some brunch Sundays.
Okay, I stand by what I said. Then I am not for the streets, ladies and
It's
gentlemen.
interesting though because when dudes be like, I'm gonna give you back to the streets, then it's like it can't be too bad because you took her in. You know what I'm saying? So like.
And you still gonna take me in.
So that's why I'm like, is it that you have to be just flat out hoeing?
Maybe it just means you're single. Let's just say
no, it's not single.
it just means like you
Streets is not
single.
single. Nah.
You know, you
That's
single,
not-
single, you single, you.
that's
I
not
don't
the
know.
definition.
It's a new term. It's the young. See, we aunties. I don't even deal with terms like that. I never even heard of it.
That's
Because
until
my aunties be like, oh, you
I'm
a
like-
streetwalker.
yeah, I'm like, what does that mean exactly?
You
That's a young people term.
streetwalker.
But the reason why I did ask that is because a lot of times we say we want something that we aren't. Like a lot of women will say, oh yeah, I want a boss, but they're at home doing nothing. Or, they'll say, I want this type of man and you got to make this much money, but you want unemployment. Disguising it as being an entrepreneur. You know what I'm saying? So like, we have to make sure we are what we.
And then some people just flat out. Some women is just like, yeah, I want that because I'm not that.
Yeah.
I need to make up some money because
Yeah,
I ain't got nothing.
I respect
You know
that
what I
more
mean?
too if you're being honest with it. Like, I
And
definitely
you know
want to do
what?
this.
I'm happy you asked that because that even trickled down to people who are married.
Mm-hmm.
What they ask for, and then they don't realize that they're not even halfway there
Right.
to ask for those things. So you got to be very intentional when you're asking for things or when you're wanting things or you say, I'm for the streets. What are you saying when you say behind that? I'm like, I'm from the streets,
Let's
but I'm
just
reserved for
say-
a boss. You know what I'm saying?
Let's just say if you was for the streets, if you were,
for street, what I be
Just in case,
what
hypothetically.
would you be doing? Hypothetically, if you were for the streets, what would you be doing?
I just want to make a disclaimer. I've actually never said that term before. Have y'all ever? I've never
I
actually.
have.
No,
I haven't jokingly.
For the
For the
streets. I've
streets?
never used that term before. It's not even in
Yeah.
my vocabulary. But
Like, the
hypothetically,
streets is calling.
if we were, then what?
What would that look like for you?
Chevy, what would that look like for you?
Don't try to avoid the question. No, honey, we right here.
She's
We right here
shady.
with it.
I'm
She's
still
shady.
trying to understand exactly, like, you know.
Whatever you think
I'm
your
gonna be
definition
honest
of
though.
for the
I be
streets
saying
is.
I'm jokingly saying I'm from the streets, but I'm really not for the streets because I get so annoyed very fast.
Yeah.
But if I was for the streets, what it look like is a calendar full.
Okay,
Of what? Of
let's be
what?
very
Of
clear.
dates,
Of
of
dates.
brunch, of
Okay.
trips. I'm at this point.
What are you doing anything after these dates?
I mean, you grown. You know, like if you want to go down, you know, the yellow brick road, that's on you. But I think that for me, like it just look like nobody gets to know. Everybody gets a chance if you're my type at least. But I'm giving everybody a shot. Like if I'm for the streets, but for me, I just be like, I don't like repeating the same information over and over and over and over and over. Like so, even though I'm going on these dates, and I just went on a date with Billy Bob Thornton the day before, now I got to tell Tyrese what. I just told
you
Billy
are
Bob
dating
Thornton.
anybody. If you're going from Billy Bob to Tyrese,
yeah,
you are
you-
dating anybody.
You on a spectrum of men, but what would it look like for you?
If I was for the streets, it looks like vacations. I'm going
Every
on
day.
vacations with everybody.
Meet me in
We're
Toulouse.
going everywhere, right? I want to go to Kenya to the giraffe house. That mud is like $900 a
We're
night.
not going to Arizona.
No, we're not going to Arizona. I'm passport
never been
stamps
to
only.
that?
If I'm for the streets, I'm going to be for the international streets. Okay, we are
True.
taking trips.
International
This
flights.
resort is $9,000 a night.
In Arizona? No, thank
Yes.
you. I don't care.
We need
I
to
don't
talk
need
about
go-
that. Let's talk about
I
that.
don't need to go to Arizona. If I'm for the streets, I'm taking vacations.
You taking them
I'm
to
on
the wild
vacation.
places?
You want to holler at me? Yes. I want to go on a trip. I need a passport stamp.
That's my first dates at this point. If we talking and texting, that's cool. But we want to meet at Miami. You want to go to St. Thomas?
See, I don't want to go on.
Like, where
I
we
don't want to go
going?
on a trip with you when I first meet you.
If I'm for
What?
this is hypothetical. If I'm for the streets, I don't care.
Okay.
If
Oh,
I'm
so
for-
is
if
that
I was a girl
hypothetical?
that was for the streets,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that before take me to what you say, Shake Shack.
I don't mind Shake Shack. I think that's cute actually. If a guy takes me to Shake Shack,
No,
I'm
no,
like,
You
oh,
like cute dates.
don't
though. I
ever,
like
take,
cute
don't
dates
ever
too.
take me to Shake Shack.
Don't
I
take
love
me
cute
either.
dates. If you're being intentional, if you saw that I like, you know,
Burgers.
milkshakes and burgers, and you take me to Shake Shack and we just sit in the car and
Because
watch
you're hopeless
Netflix.
romantic.
I am.
That's why you're not for the streets.
I'm
Yeah.
not.
Because
I'm
you're
really
going to
not.
be type.
So okay, just
Taekwon.
use your imagination.
I'm ready to settle down. Okay, if I were for the streets. Ooh, wow, I gotta go deep in my imagination. I feel like I would just be wilding. Like I would have, like a lot of people have that fun that they had in college and, you know, their 20s. I would probably have that moment. Like I'd be on dates. I already go on a decent amount of dates, but definitely vacations, definitely just brunches, pretty much the same thing, just
Yeah.
dates all the time.
Calendar's
No, nothing
full.
after because I know you waiting to ask
That ain't
me.
really like
Yeah.
for the streets. Like
So have
you're
y'all
doing
ever-
that now.
I'm going to pivot this conversation. So have y'all ever had a one-night stand?
No.
Never.
I tried. And you know they got my number from somebody.
Wait, what?
What do you mean you tried?
Oh,
How
like
do you try?
I
You
was
fucked
like
him and tried to leave
one-night
him alone, and
stand.
he tried to
And
call
then
you.
it was like, do. Oh, I ran into your friend. She gave me your number. I'm texting my friend like, why the fuck did you give that person my number?
So you didn't want to do it. You
No,
No,
you
I
didn't wanna
wanted
talk
to
to
do
him
it.
afterwards.
I didn't want
She
to talk to the person afterwards.
Oh wow.
And they ended up running into
He was like,
someone.
"This too good for it just be one
Period, poop.
Wow.
I
Wait.
did- ain't no try.
You actually tried to do a one night stand and he tried to talk to you afterwards, like after the fact. How
Yeah.
did you get rid of how did that happen?
He went to
after?
jail.
Okay.
That's how that ended.
Okay. All right. He went to jail.
It was the
jail, and that was
streets.
it. And that was that on that.
No, he got my number. We talked for a while, and then next thing I know, we texted. And I'm like, "Who is this number? What is this area code about?" And they're like, "Yeah, I ran into your friend at the club," and she was like, "I'm gonna get you her number." Da-da-da. And I was like, "Girl, why you do that?" Because
Wait,
that's-
so your one night stand is somebody who you kind of was talking to for
No.
a minute.
No, she had a one
I
night
had a
stand.
one-night
She did not
stand.
want to talk to him no more
And then
after
he
that.
hit you-
But he
okay.
got him
and then he
a
ran
number
into
from
my
somebody.
friend, and then my friend gave him the number, gave him my number,
Okay.
and I was lightweight disappointed. And I was like, okay. So then I got into this like masculine energy where I felt like you want me, so not, you know, I started to feel like that.
So did
that
y'all
one
continue to kick it? I mean, did y'all kick it after
until he
that?
went to jail.
Until he went to jail.
And then you was like, I'm done. This is where I'm gonna get
I
off.
am not.
You ain't want to just
Listen.
put him on your JPay?
You know, let's talk about that because this was almost 10, 11 years ago. Actually, it was like almost 12 years ago. And, actually it was like, I don't want to say
You
how many
aging?
years
Are you-
ago
yeah,
because
I'm
I'm
gonna say
talking
you
about
showing
my
your
age.
age right
But this
now.
was many, many moons ago, okay? It wasn't even IG. We just going to say that. And we were like talking and keeping it steady and stuff like that. But to go to jail, I ain't saying I ain't no down-ass chick. But if you ain't mine, like if we ain't in there,
Yeah.
you need
I'm
a
about to
whole
hold
nother
you down.
job for JPay
Yeah.
for books. Like you,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
a lot of money. I'm not saying I'm not a down ass chick, but I'm just saying you better love that one.
Yeah. What do y'all think about dudes being for the streets?
Ooh.
They been for the streets since they was born. Soon as they came out their mama, they was for the streets.
It was on the
It was
avenue.
time. It was
Would
time.
you date a dude that's for the streets?
I have. It was fun.
You had a
would
good time.
Okay, let me rephrase that. Not date. Would you actually settle down with and be with a dude that's for the streets? Like, not.
You know
I'm
why
gonna
I
put it two
can't.
parts to this. 20-year-old you or younger you, and then where you at now. Your idea of dudes for the streets.
Okay, so first I'm gonna tell you what comes with the
What
dude
comes
for the
with it?
streets. A lot of drama.
Mm.
A
Going to
lot
jail,
of
getting
drama.
shot
And
at.
I'm not the girl that's gonna blow your phone up, call you a billion times, cuss out the girl, fight the girl.
Yeah.
It's Sesame Street over here, honey. We about to share in Big Bird, okay?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm not really that type of girl, period, 20s, 30s, whatever. But I would date you to have a good time. I did that before, and we had a great time. But when he started catching feelings, I'm like, bro, you have a girlfriend that you still failed to tell me you had. I did that before with a guy, and I found out he was married, y'all. Guess how I found out he was married?
How you find out?
On MySpace.
You lying.
Because somebody
How
said...
you married for the streets and on MySpace?
Listen,
bro?
because somebody was like, yeah, I seen you on MySpace. I was like, where did you...
You're like, I don't have a MySpace. How you see me on MySpace?
MySpace actually was kind of in at this time.
Yeah.
And I was like, really, where? And it was like a club promoter who was always promoting pictures, and me and the guy took a picture, and they sent me the picture. I went to the picture page, and then I seen the tag, and I seen another tag. Next thing I see a wedding pictures. And I'm like, oh, okay. You've been for the streets.
Yeah.
I was about to say, dudes that are married or about to get married, they some of the like most
They the
for the
most
streets
hoish
dudes.
ones.
Yeah.
This
It's
dude
sad,
tried to holler at
actually.
my homegirl that we all know the night before his wedding.
Yeah, that's sad.
And
That's
was like, "Hi,
Dudes be for the
sir."
streets
and we
and be
knew
upset.
who his fiance was.
Yeah.
That's so trifling to
That's
me.
sad.
Yeah.
That is so
I really
trifling
feel
to
bad
me.
for the women, you know, in that situation, because the same thing happened to me, and I'm like, I've never been about, you know, the people who, you know, get married and they want to have fun the night before, or the bachelor. No, we're not doing none of that. That's always been like,
I'm doing it.
no, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
The
Meaning
night
you're
before
gonna
my
have
wedding?
no, the night before your wedding, you're gonna have fun with somebody else and
Technically,
then get married.
I'm still technically.
Oh, no.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
No.
I'm
I'm
joking.
like,
I'm
you're
joking.
definitely for the streets then.
That's
I
not
think
for
in
the
my
streets.
younger
That's living
age-
my life. If
Ah.
I'm no
That's
for
for the
real though. But
sidewalk.
if your husband,
That's
like
for
if
the
you and your
sidewalk.
partner,
Because she about to jump right back. You know what I'm saying?
right? I'm like, you
She
sure?
jumped right back in the house.
I want the marriage, not the entirety. But I don't know I don't know. Like, is that frowned upon? Like, if your husband said, "I did have fun the night before our wedding."
My husband
Oh,
is
I
not
hope
having
that fun was worth it, sir.
Yeah,
Because you're
my
not walking
husband
down the aisle anymore.
is not having a
We're
bachelor
not
party.
doing that. And my
No.
brothers is about to be there.
You crazy?
They my
is your man
spies.
gonna have a man cave?
If he wants to have a bachelor party, it could be like at a bowling alley or something like that.
Here's the thing, you
And
can
no
have a
strippers. No,
You
no
can have a
strippers.
bachelor party. You can have strippers. I'm not even mad at that. But be respectful. I don't even
Yeah.
mind if a chick give you a lap dance. But it ain't you shouldn't be feeling all up on her. It ain't nothing after that lap dance that should be
Yeah.
happening. My brothers are there. They're going to report
I'd be like,
back. But be
none of
respectful.
the
You know what I
sisters
mean?
could
Like, that
come.
to me is like, yeah,
family
you
is
having
off
sex with a
limits.
stripper before, that's not justified.
Oh,
because
no,
you
no,
was
no,
your
no,
last
no,
night
no,
before.
no,
No, we're
no.
not
I
doing
just
that.
don't understand the
hell no.
tradition. Like, what made that cool? Like, oh, before we get married, let's just have a bunch of nasty strippers just dance.
because
on,
in
like,
some cultures,
yeah, no, it's just I want to change it. Let's make our fiancés have a bowling party.
bitch.
I'm not marrying a bowling
I'm
party
not-
type of nigga.
Like,
I'm just
come
not.
on,
That's
he's
not
not
who I
about
know
to be
I'm
a
gonna marry.
no. I don't.
I'm
Because I
not
would be
ready.
thinking about
I'll
it too
seven.
much.
I'm
I'll
not
be
ready.
thinking
I
about
don't
it too
care
much.
about
Like,
the
dang, what
strip-
happened the night before?
You having a
Yeah.
stripper.
You
but
gotta have
but
fun.
again, let it be
Yeah.
tasteful. I think
Yeah.
that for me, like to kind of bring it back to for the streets in my 20s or just earlier in life. When I look back, I dated dudes who was for the streets. It wasn't like
Yeah.
it wasn't an intentional like, oh, he for the streets, I like him. But when you look back, it's like
But you're from the east side,
he
so
was in the streets.
it's
He
no-
was, no, don't do that.
Hey, that's the favorite streets.
Don't
The east side is the best streets.
So it's either like he was in the streets, he just wasn't like, and I mean back then you young, so were you really thinking about marriage and kids and all of that anyway? You know what I'm saying? But
wasn't thinking
now,
about
and it was fun, like you said, it was fun. It was like
was
a good
fun.
time. You're gonna go out, you're gonna have a great date. It might be a little bit dangerous. You might get shot at. You might need some bail money. You know what I'm saying? Just make sure.
But when you get to a certain age, that's
oh
all
yeah,
over.
absolutely not.
Yeah.
You know why it's
Absolutely not.
important for dads to be in their daughters' lives? Because you just said, like, it might be exciting. Like, you might, do all these things. And I remember when I dated my first hood for the streets man. It was so exciting.
It's thrilling.
Sleeping on the floor.
Yeah.
Nah, I want to sleep on the floor.
It was
Here's the thing. I
rolling
have
weed on the
standards
table.
Yeah.
in the
I'm
midst
18
of.
years old, but
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
like,
you gonna roll some
you know
weed.
what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, whatever's in the house.
Yeah.
We outside, we drinking, we doing whatever. I'm like, yeah, this is
fun. It's a
I
different
always had
experience.
standards in the midst of the hoodness,
Yeah.
but it was like, but yeah, because I
I
feel like if you're from
definitely-
Detroit, you're
yeah.
gonna talk to a hood dude.
100%.
Like
100%.
that's just nowhere around that. But it's not something that.
And then we tell your parents, they was
you
like, you
want
was
a life
where?
Mhm. Oh no, you don't tell the
You don't
parents.
tell your parents.
Yeah,
Yeah, one
what?
time I dated this one Highland Park man.
Ooh.
And she was like, how you
Highland
even
Park.
get over
Yeah, you
there?
said enough with Highland. You said enough with Highland
Highland
Park.
Park. No, you know what's so funny? My ex-boyfriend,
From Highland Park.
my dad, he was like, tell your daddy I own taxi cabs. I was like, first of all, why? No disrespect, my daddy, like, he dumb enough to believe that. So my dad always had an idea of, like, what he was doing, right? He saw him. We had broke up at this point, but he saw him at the gas station. And he was talking to him, like, hey, Mr. Edwards, da, da, da. He was like, yeah, I seen your little boyfriend at the gas station.
Oh my gosh.
He kept trying to hold a conversation with me. I'm like, get on away from me now before I get shot. I don't want nobody coming over here. I'm like,
My daddy is such
Yeah.
a hater. Like, if I hang out with my dad. And I'm not going to say that. But I hang
it's
out with
funny,
my
one
dad.
of my homegirls used to kick it with Chevy Daddy.
That is
Lying.
so
I
I
embarrassing.
swear to God, Chevy
That's
posted
so
a picture and
embarrassing.
she followed Chevy because she met her before. She was like, she called me like, bitch. She was like,
Wow.
this Chevy Daddy. I'm like, and
That's
she's like,
so
I used to
embarrassing.
date.
So your daddy,
My
is
daddy's
your daddy for the
actually
streets?
married.
Oh, okay.
I don't think, how long he been married? I don't think she dated when he was married. This
Since
was back
I've
in
been
the day.
since I was in 7th grade.
Oh, well. Yeah, your daddy for the streets.
Daddy for the
My
streets.
dad, I'm
She's daddy
so
for the
sorry,
streets.
Dad, if you watch
Not
this.
Keysha Daddy.
No, Chevy daddy for the
Yeah,
streets.
Dad, I'm so sorry. But everybody knows it's kind of embarrassing that my dad has kind of been in the streets. I'm going to say that. But he is married. And when I became an age, I was like, oh my God, my daddy know a lot of people. Is we would go out and it would be so many women that would approach me like, that's your daddy. And I'd be like, didn't you go to high school with me? You know what I'm saying? Like, it got a little awkward. And I was like, I don't never want to date none of my dad's friends. So
Yeah,
that's the other
yeah.
thing for the streets. Like, even younger, like, my friends dated older men, and I didn't because
I
I was
never dated older
nervous
dudes,
that they
yeah.
knew my daddy.
Yeah.
And I also feel like, what else are we going to do? You know
I
what
never
I'm saying?
dated older dudes.
I
It
never
was creepy
did.
to me when we were young. Like, it was girls getting picked up from high school by old men, and I'm like, that's
Yeah,
creepy.
no.
That is
like
nasty.
by 25, 26-year-olds, you know what I mean? But that's still old when you're in high school.
Yeah.
And it was just I've never been into like older
Yeah.
dudes. That's
Now,
not
would
my
you though?
thing.
I know a lot of people who actually would. I've
Absolutely
seen these
not.
sugar daddy websites
No.
where you would date like a 60, 70-year-old just for the benefits. Or
If
just
he wants no sex.
No.
okay, yeah.
If he wants no sex.
'Cause
And a lot
here's
of
the
them don't
thing.
want no sex.
They just want companionship.
They just want companionship.
I think it depends on what you want in life. So at this point in my life, I don't have a second to waste with anybody
Yep,
that
yep.
is not somebody I see myself building a life with, marrying and having kids, right?
Yep.
And so it's like a sugar daddy, if it's somebody that's just giving you money, that's a waste of my time. If it's somebody that's older, I'm already about to be 40, right? So if you're way older than me, even though men can have kids a lot older than we can, but do I
Yeah.
want my child's father to be 60?
Yeah.
So by the time you're 20, your daddy is 80. So it's like, for me, it's like everything is very intentional. And that's why I say, and to any young girls who may be listening in, like, by all means, live your life in your 20s. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to have fun, whatever. But even with that, when I think back, like, we was playing a dangerous game. You know what I'm
playing
saying? Like,
yeah.
Dangerous game.
we was, so even like, and dating dudes for the streets doesn't necessarily mean that they were like drug dealers or doing anything illegal, but it could, right? And so if you're dating somebody that's doing those things, you could end up in jail because you're an accomplice.
Yeah.
You could end up shot and killed. It's so many times where, especially in that game, where like they go after the girlfriend or the baby mama because they want to get at
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
This just
So it's
happened
like-
recently. That just happened recently.
Yeah, I don't advise that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You
to
saw
take
with you?
It was on Spiritual World, but it was on Spiritual World about it was a lady's I think it was Spiritual World. It was a lady's boyfriend, and he killed her daughter. She was like 16 years old or something,
Mhm.
and she was the mom I think was out of town, and the dad was there. But that's why I also so I had a really bad experience. Not going to get emotional, but I tried to date an older man, and he like slight weight almost took advantage of me, like literally, and I had to like peel him off of me, like get. You know what I'm saying? Off of me because
Yeah.
he was like very aggressive. I was young and I was like, and that was a bad experience for me. And I was like, this is why I don't date older men because to me, you look at young girls and maybe even younger
Preying
than
on
me.
them.
And I think I was about 18 at the time. And it was so scary. It was the most scary experience. And this is like my first time really speaking about it. But that's why I was never into older men. Even now, 30 maybe, but still like, I'm learning and I know how I like to move and I don't
Yeah.
want no man 20 years older than me.
Right.
But, you know.
I think it's being super intentional. Even when because again, for the streets doesn't necessarily mean they're doing anything bad, but even like dudes that's kicking with a lot of women, it's like, do you want to be that? Do you want to be on his roster? You know what
'Cause
I'm
I
saying? Is
can't
that
kiss
something that
you.
you want?
Yeah.
Because
you know.
now you got HIV,
Yeah.
AIDS, herpes,
Yeah.
all types of stuff that is like, that's my biggest, oh my God, that's one
That's
of my
my
biggest
biggest
fears.
thing. So
It's getting
I
an
joke
STD?
about,
Bruh,
yeah.
yes. Like,
Even-
and so that's the
yeah.
thing you got to think about. If it's a dude that's for the streets and he messing with everybody,
Yeah.
What is he possibly bringing home to you?
The sad part is you won't even have a clue sometimes. Like you just never know. You know, you can be somebody.
Look at a person and be like, oh
yeah, you just never know. They could be honest to you. You know, tell you, no, and the next thing you know, that's a really bad part.
That's why you got to get tested. My last relationship, it was like, oh,
yeah, get tested.
We're gonna not use condoms. Okay, then let's get tested. You know what I mean? So it's like
let's get tested together too.
Let's get
tested. We
tested.
actually didn't end up getting.
Y'all didn't? Oh wow.
All right, X that out.
I was like, we gotta get tested because he was all on board. I was like, we gotta get tested. He was like, okay, not a problem, cool. But then it ended up being one of those in the moment things when it happened, and then it was like, oh well.
But then after that first time, then okay, that was it.
But it's definitely a suggestion I would give. Because
especially
you can't look at somebody and tell.
Especially
it's just
now.
Scary.
It's really scary. It's really scary now because this might sound really weird, but I'm seeing more and more beautiful women pop up every single day. You know what I'm saying? And I know that temptation is there for men because women we are flawless. So when I be seeing women that's like, oh, she bad, oh, she fine, I'm like, dang, that man look good. So I already know how many coming at him if he, you know what I'm saying? So now it's just like, you ain't got no choice. And I always think about this with rappers, like in the industry, they be moving kind of fast. It's girls. And I'm like, do y'all get tested?
Yeah.
If you know your label mate mess with him and you going on a date, are y'all testing out?
I've been watching this. Is real off subject. No, not really. This is really on point. Magic Johnson was for the streets, okay?
Magic Johnson
y'all
was for
gotta
the
I've been watching Winning Time on HBO.
It's so good.
It's a really good show, right? And you
on my
just
account.
see.
Wait, on her HBO
account?
Okay.
No, I'm watching it on my ex account, first of all.
Okay.
Like, we broke up. Our accounts didn't. I'm still using your Hulu,
That's a
your
real
HBO,
breakup.
your Stars.
We together.
Until you find out.
But listen, no, he knows. So I'm watching Winning Time, right? And it's a really good show.
It's so
but
good.
it kind of starts from Magic Johnson getting drafted from college, coming to LA, right? And he fucking everything moving, which we already know, right?
Eating coochie.
First of all, I was like, Cookie is, you know how they say a good one. I mean, like you. Not only did this man catch HIV, but first of all, he banged her friend and got her pregnant, number one. So
whoa. Everybody haven't seen the episode yet.
Well, y'all got to catch up. It's almost at the end of the
season.
season.
I haven't seen it yet, but I do want to watch it. But side note, is that what they're showcasing, like him being out there?
It's about the whole Lakers dynasty, like how they started.
With it.
But that's a big part of it because that's when he came into. Yeah.
Wow.
So, but the point that I'm making is like,
he's for the streets.
Yeah. So he's banging all these women, right? And good person, good guy. You know what I mean? In terms of like character, I guess you could say. Not necessarily a good guy when it comes to a woman. Him and her was together at the time, whatever it is. But yeah, he's from the street, so it's for the street. So it's like you can't look at him and tell this man got money. You know what I'm saying? Like the point you're making about rappers, right? So he got money, he looking nice, he dressing nice, he driving a good car, the whole nine. He's fucking all of these women unprotected, right? And so if you just want to be down on the Magic train, now you pop up and you got something. So it's like rappers, how they be moving, and entertainers and basketball players, it is very scary. And I don't know the mindset. I don't know if they just not thinking, if they think they're invincible, if they thinking these girls, oh, she look nice. Oh, she's not a like hood rat where I look at her and feel like,
or they don't care.
You can't look at a person.
Because the thing is, like, I know females that have dated rappers, NFL players, stuff like that, and I be wanting to ask, like, so did y'all get tested? I be wanting to know just because, like, not for you, because let's keep it real. If you with the same dude, let's just say y'all dating at this month a month, it's a very low percentage to. I'm not even going to say that because I don't want nobody coming at me with statistics, but I don't know for real in conversation that I've met anyone that was like dated somebody for a week and then not even that week, maybe that next week they having sex raw. You know what I'm saying? Because they've been seeing this person for the last 30 days and now they like, okay, we had sex raw by mistake. And you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so easy to do. And what I really love about Winning Time, y'all have to watch this. I can't wait. It's just the evolution of Magic is just crazy. Yeah, because look at they got now. I'm obsessed with the people who own the Lakers because they also own Coachella and Stagecoach and a few other festivals. The Bus family is listen. Dr. Bus was a G.
Wait, does Dr. Bus is any kids like any
he
male?
has a daughter,
but sons, single available sons.
You don't want
girl.
them.
First of all, they older. They
right
now.
So what? SugarDaddy.com.
Okay. I'm glad she admitted.
I think the moral of the story is
pick the street you want to be on.
The street, right? Unless you really want to, unless you might want to get hit by a car, you want to.
The streets come with guidelines.
You either want to get on the sidewalk or the porch, the front porch.
All right, y'all. Well, that wraps up our topic. I don't know. Do you have any closing remarks about that?
About the streets?
That was my advice.
The streets just come with guidelines. You got steps. You got, okay, where did he frequent at? All right, how old is he? How many kids? Okay, I could do this. How many women do I know really he slept with? Then will he get tested? That's
the
what comes with the
come
streets.
with tickets. The streets come with
vacations.
you might get hit. The streets come.
Yeah.
You might want to.
But you might have the time of your life too. So
Yep.
don't sleep on the streets. The streets is fun. The summer is here.
Ooh.
The summer is
Summer's
here.
approaching.
The summer's
Just know
now.
what you're getting into.
Right. The summer is now. Everybody.
All right, ladies.
got a
It is.
question?
Guess what time it is? It's tea time. All right. So I do have a question. Did we do this one?
We did that one.
We did? Okay, I do have a question. As you know, tell them about this segment of the show, y'all, while I look for this.
So this segment of the show is where we talk to our nieces and nephews. So if you have any questions, whether you have it for the group or for a specific person, if you need some advice, or if you just have a crazy story that you want to share with us, this is where we dive into that. You can send us an email at somebodysauntie, SOMEBODYSAUNTEA @gmail.com. We will anonymously read your email on our segment. And
It's
we
all
will give you
anonymous.
our perspective, our advice.
Okay, so this is the email. We didn't do this one, right?
No.
Okay, this is the email we have from one of our nieces. Completely different than what we were talking about on the way other end of the spectrum. But this question is, according to descriptions in the Bible,
Ooh.
do you think Jesus is coming soon?
Jesus, listen, for all of y'all in the streets, Jesus is about to do a sweep, okay? Yes, and yes. I do
Jesus
think.
is about to do a sweep for everybody in the
Yeah.
street.
Jesus is coming down. Absolutely.
I just feel, okay. You just,
There's
your
a whole lot
facial
of going
expression
on
says
right
it all.
now. And he up there watching like,
She said according to the Bible.
According to the
Which
descriptions
Bible
in
is
the
she
Bible, do
looking
you
at?
think Jesus is coming soon?
the rapture, where he talks about Jesus coming back.
That don't mean she ain't looking at the Jewish Bible. Or...
Oh, I don't know.
I'm gonna be real with
Yeah,
y'all.
I
They
do.
they have been saying that for a long time, ever since I was younger, and it used to scare me at first. Like, oh, Jesus is coming back. I'm like, wait, I'm not ready. But yeah,
I'm just, my
I
only
think
thing
so.
is, Jesus, if you gonna come, just make sure it's before the first, because it ain't no point in me dropping that rent check in the mailbox.
oh my god,
No, for real. Keep it getting like a pre, you know.
But I think that is, I think the world getting a little out of hand.
Yeah, it is.
I think
It
it's
is
getting
way worse than what it
it's
was when
just
we were
too
growing
much.
up.
We're not eating real food. Everybody, you can just change it. You could just say, I want to get dimples and get dimples.
That's
We
scary.
are playing around. We playing with fire too much.
Yeah.
I think technology is starting to get out of hand. Like
Yeah.
technology is good, and we've had some advancements that I think help. But I think now it's getting to a point where it's like, this is kind of scary.
yeah,
But I also
And,
don't
yeah.
want. I watch a lot of like natural disaster movies and stuff, and it's all. You know what's crazy? Okay, yes, I think Jesus is coming, but if you ever watch like natural disaster movies, like I think it's 2012 and stuff like that, they always show the U.S. in chaos. Like all the time.
Mhm.
And they also show like the religion of Indian and Buddhist, and they like just praying. And it's always like a water, like a tide that they see, and to them that's like, oh my God, the gates of heaven are open
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And I think right now, like, I think a revelation is coming, but I think you have to decide how you feel about it. So it's not necessarily like Jesus is coming. Do y'all think Jesus is coming? I think like, what do you feel? Like you said, the world is like going in chaos. We're not eating the same thing. And furthermore, if you destroy Earth, why would I go to the moon? I'm okay right here. I'm gonna just stay here. Don't even worry about it. But I do think God is coming. God is just. It's almost like God has been testing our faith.
yeah.
The last 4 years. The last 4 years, God has been testing our faith, and I've been seeing it every single day. Like I've been seeing like these weird things happening. But I do tell our niece, yeah, God is coming.
You know, get right with the Lord.
Yeah.
If you're a believer, I'm a believer. I know you're a believer. I know
Yeah.
you're a believer. Get right. You know, I
Yeah.
know you go to church, which I commend that. I love that.
Yeah, this is a perfect time to be still in chaos.
Yeah,
This is a
you know,
perfect time.
Be still with ourselves too, and
Get
you know,
your
just
affairs in
be
order.
prepared. Yeah, get your affairs in order.
That's my wellness.
Get right
tip
with
of the
God,
day.
y'all. Get right with God.
Yes, what's your wellness
That's my
tip?
wellness
Yes.
tip of the day. Be still in chaos. When you quiet and still, you see everything. The truth reveals itself. Everything comes
true.
out. Everything that you question shows itself. Just be still in chaos. It's so much going on right now. It's when you're forced to be still, that's when you see everything.
Yep.
That's my advice. That's my wellness
All
tip. Be
right.
still in chaos.
Well, y'all, that brings us to the end of the show. Thank y'all again for tuning in to another
Thank
episode of
y'all.
Somebody's Auntie, not your mama's auntie,
Not your
your mama's sister, your auntie with the T. I had a little
Period.
mimosas. Your auntie with the mimosas. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Also, you can follow us on Instagram, somebody's_auntie. And until next time, nieces and nephews.
Peace.
Yeah.